I'm sorry, I'm encroaching probably into the duties of the standing committee of the NDDC, but we must have to, as a committee, be able to explore the remote and the immediate causes of oil theft. Me, I would not hesitate to tell you that the NDDC, the fallacies and shortfalls of the NDDC's statutory performance as an organization is contributing significantly to the problem of oil theft. If you guys can do the right thing, you take these boys off the street. The huge amount of money that is being made available to the agency, 13% derivative, the 3% cost of production, so many other things accrued to that. Because if you don't do the right thing, then simply you now give way for the criminal. You are giving them licenses to operate. And that is what they always say. I'm sorry, the language my friend here used was not only sentimental, it was inciting.
If you want to even travel to Nembe, you have to get to Yanagua and travel the same distance. So we have been able, by reason of that single road, been able to provide security, to intervene in any oil theft in that axis.
This road, hold on, this road that you are talking about, do you know that I can tell you how long it took NDDC to build that road? Do you know how long it took NDDC to build that road? I know the time frame that took NDDC to build that road you are talking about. 16 years, my brother. 16 years. Building 28-kilometer road. Whether it was you are making or not, is that the right thing to do? An economy like our own, which is largely till today depending on oil as a major subsidy, major base for our economic functions and even for financing public services and infrastructure, cannot continue with this kind of serious challenge in the oil and gas sector.
We've also seen inadequate implementation of international best practices. It's one thing to say that this is what we do. The other thing, of course, is it being implemented by various agencies or various stakeholders?
So there are cases that, oil theft cases that have gone on for over 10 years, some much longer than that, and then sometimes again, from the Court of First Instance, you see it running to appeal and then Court of Appeal and then to Supreme Court, So this also affects a lot in conclusion of the cases. So if we do have special courts, but not just specifically to issues of oil theft, but more broadly to the things that we do in terms of economic and financial crimes, this would also go a long way in assisting at the work that we do.
Whatever crude you took from my backyard, refined in Europe, stops in Port Harcourt. It doesn't get to Bonny, it doesn't get to Okrika, it doesn't get to Buguma. That was the reason the NMPCL, lofty ideas, fantastic initiative, introduced the floating jetty, those floating filling stations rather, to make to make PMS available for those communities. Now they don't have product in the past 10 years. What happens now, sir, is that?
And also is meant to underscore some of the excesses of our youth over there, and to see how government can be able to cushion the effect of some of these hardships arising from the process of oil production, exploration, and all sorts kind of things in the area of oil and gas sector. Reason why I said yours might be more critical is the fact that you should be able, as people staying there, working there, and coming also from them, like you rightly started, I've heard you doing that, you are more likely to offer us on ground insights, so that at the end we should be able to know where the shoe is actually pinching. So I hope you will still be patient with us and take a few questions from members, which I believe.
Do you think we need a special court to try cases related to crude oil theft? The reason I ask is this: I know how you struggle because of the judicial system to get judgment and the delays that follow. Now, each time you confiscate a vessel, for instance, the Navy, I'm speaking from experience now, will bet those vessels along the shorelines of the Niger Delta including Bonny. I see a lot of them there. Now, because of the time it takes for you to get judgments on those evidences on the high sea, some of them lose value, some of them even constitute environmental hazards. They decay on the sea and begin to rot there. So that's why I'm asking for speedy delivery of justice. Do you think that we need a special court to try cases related to oil theft? Thank you.
I'm happy when you mentioned that you identify about 13,000, am I right, communities? Are you in touch with these 13,000 communities? Are you in touch with these 13,000 communities? Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Fine. What are the socio-economic services that you have provided that will serve as an alternative for economic opportunities that will douse the issue of oil theft in this 13,000? What are those social economic conditions that you have provided that will definitely bring down the episodes of this oil theft? Because certainly it's because of the absence of some socio-economic activities. Certainly the absence of socio-economic activities to this youth is another factor. And you can imagine 13,000 communities. You can imagine 13,000 communities. Which of the communities out of these 13,000 communities that you have provided this and that eradicated oil theft? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.